What will the St. Louis Blues offseason look like? All of that and much more will be discussed in this episode of the STLEmpire podcast.
What's going on, gang? Nikko and Ben here, back for another podcast episode, and this one's gonna be an interesting one. The season's finally over for the St. Louis Blues. 2025-2026 season is the end, and we are officially in the I think all the game ones for the Stanley. No, because we still have the Oilers to go. We still have Edmonton, but most of the game ones of the Stanley Cup playoffs have come to an end. So we've also seen some, postseason interviews from the St. Louis Blues locker room cleanout. That was, I think, earlier today, and we saw some comments on that. Um, and I mean, I feel like there's a lot to talk about. Ben, how you doing, man? How's life? How is it at? What time is it for you? Fucking like 3:30.
2:36 is
2:36.
the time over
Guy,
here in
guy
the
is a
great state of
gamer.
Florida.
Guy is a gamer.
No,
Shout
but
out Ben for staying
um,
fucking patient since I've been at the casino for the last 4 hours.
well, I mean, you might have to go in a little bit more in depth as to why you were there. Maybe not just say, "Oh, I was at the casino," but
So obviously based on my outfit, so I started work at 10, so I'm still in my work outfit. 13 and a half hours. Honestly, 14 hours later, I left my house 14 hours ago. But um, went from work. I got a I got a good friend of mine. His name's Kavanaugh. I went to high school with him. He played AAA junior Yotes out here in Arizona. He was born and raised in Buffalo. His dad used to work for the Sabres back in the day, and his dad kind of bounced between teams. But I mean, he was born a Buffalo fan, diehard Buffalo fan. Always talked about Buffalo. Big encyclopedia on the Buffalo Sabres and in the NHL as a whole. Like, it's actually awesome. Like, he could do, like, if you play a goal horn, he could tell you what team and what year.
oh, I could do the same.
And he's not autistic.
No, I guarantee you, I could do the same.
Can you?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
swear on my life, I could.
Swear? Fuck, I wish I was with you
Swear.
or something. Or can you? Okay, let me test something really quick. All right, we're gonna do guess that goal horn.
Not to get too sidetracked from what we have planned for the episode, but to answer your question, I'm doing good. You know, life's been pretty good. I told you before we started the pod, I've been getting into baseball card collecting, so that's been
Yeah.
pretty good. And also now looking for a, I haven't told you this, but looking for a car here soon. So you know,
Dude, why don't you
we'll
tell
be
me these things?
I don't know, but
I'll even
we're
cover.
looking for a car here soon.
I'll
Not
cover
probably
shipping. I'll
within
cover
the
shipping.
well, but things have been going good over here. And I know, like you said, you watched the Buffalo game, watched the Utah Mammoth and Vegas game as well. But other than that, how's life been treating you, man?
Um. Oh God. Like genuinely, this last few days of work, like this last week of work, was probably the most troubling and stressful time of my life. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, man. Ever since last Saturday, it's just been oh my god. Pause though. Can you hear this? Can you hear that at all?
Are you talking about bowling?
Yeah, but it like cuts in and out.
Bundle and save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor,
Oh,
State Farm is there.
State Farm is there. That's the Senators.
Damn. Okay, good for you. Fuck. Shit. Damn it.
I know that
All
stuff. I
right.
know it may seem
So
like
my
a
buddy
silly little thing.
Kavanaugh's met his match. To continue with that, he's a diehard Sabres fan. After work, I met up with him and a couple of my buddies I watch playoffs with every year, and just watched the Buffalo game. We're all on Buffalo's train. We're all officially diehard
Absolutely.
Buffalo fan. I mean, you just like, especially after that game on, that crowd is fucking hungry. Like that crowd was like them winning the Stanley Cup, and it was only game one of the playoffs. Like, just wait. There's something magical with this team. It feels legit. It really does feel legit, and excited for that. But um, yeah. Now I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. Here's the deal, though. the season is over. Ben, kind of give me your overall thoughts on the season for the St. Louis Blues here.
Um, there's obviously good and bad things to report about what the season had to offer. Uh, First things first, I do want to give a round of applause to Joel Hofer for making himself a top 10 goaltender in the league. I do think that
Yeah.
he's solidified himself after that month of October, and similar to a lot of other players after the month of October, they really kind of stepped up their game, but
True.
none like Hofer, in my opinion. But other than that, it was really a season of growing pains, and that was to be expected, especially with a young and upcoming group. You're giving Dvorsky full time at the NHL level when you have injuries happening left and right, and it also doesn't help. And this is, I'm not trying to dog on Montgomery here, but it also doesn't help when you have a new line combination every single game and no one can build chemistry. And I know that you need to find what works, but when you have a new line combination for every single line, every single game, like it's just not going to help your team. And something like that would happen. A line would click, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't, and then you'd be scrambling it all over again. So there's that. Um, Really liked how Mayu grew during the season. Obviously, after his AHL stint, looked like more of an NHL ready type defenseman, especially after the fall trade. Him getting 18 to 22 minutes a night was definitely necessary in his progression, and we'll probably see him grow more. Well, not probably. We will see him grow more as his time as a top four defenseman. Um, and just to kind of round it off for the question you asked, just seeing all the young guys play was also very refreshing. Just seeing what um, the organization, the front office has in mind of what the future may hold for this team, as in Snuggery, Dvorsky, Stenberg, Lindstein, even uh, Mayhew. There's so many different players that got an opportunity this season that I'm really excited to see what next year holds, and uh, just glad to see some of the players get an opportunity at the NHL level.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Um, one of the biggest gripes I had, here's the rant. I checked Twitter, and there's a guy by the name of Ben Gallen who's just a keyboard warrior, and he pisses me off.
Oh no.
I'm kidding. It's not you. I
Oh,
do see a lot of keyboard warriors on Twitter, though. I see a lot of complaints and bitching and moaning about the Blues ended up, they're like 11th overall instead of 8th overall. I get the draft stock is like huge. Um, but if I were to ask every Blues fan at the start of the season, like if I just said, if you were to estimate where you think the St. Louis Blues are going to draft, I bet you they'd probably say anywhere from 15th to 19th. I would say borderline wildcard team, maybe make playoffs, and or barely miss playoffs, like right there. I feel like they were a little bit worse technically expectations, but we're I don't know, we're all over the place. It's just like I understand like being at a point to where it's like okay, let's tank. The team is it's a much better roster than it's not deserving of first overall. It's not deserving at all. It's not. This isn't Vancouver level. I mean, this isn't Calgary level. Calgary's best player had 45 points, not Coronado. Drafted right after Zach Bolduc. Shout out, or right before. One of the two.
that's
Um,
ball knowledge.
Thank you, thank you. And the biggest thing too is just like I see so many people bitch, like bitch about how this kills the Blues' future. It's like, guys, we just traded for well, how I don't know how old, a 21-year-old defenseman Logan Mayu, who, like Ben, you were saying, is putting up 18 to 20 minutes a night towards the end of the season. Dvorsky played pretty much a full NHL season. Stenberg saw plenty of time in the National Hockey League. Snuggerud was playing top line with Robert Thomas. Dylan Holloway, I mean, if you could say what you want, but Holloway is young enough to just say, like, just talking about the future. There's so many young pieces, and even Theo Lindstein. Oh my God, Theo Lindstein was very impressive. Just being like he is like the perfect, just all around middle, like that middle pairing defenseman. Like
Absolutely.
he's perfect. he's perfect. And Joel Hofer too, him being young and like taking a big step. Like, I mean, I know like draft stock is like, what about if you? But like you kind of have to cancel out that noise. This team, future-wise, is much better. You have Juracek, who's potting hella goals in the OHL playoffs right now. Same with Justin Carbonneau. He's going to be a great middle six kind of guy. The Blues, I don't think future-wise are too far off. There's a reason why they were a um, top 10 prospect pool in the National Hockey League, and that's not including like a Snuggerud or Holloway. And we also don't forget we have 3 first-round picks. We have 3 first-round picks, and if it just goes exactly how it is, 11th, is it 15th?
Yes.
11th, 15th, and I'm personally, I don't think the Avalanche are going all the way. I would say anywhere from 26th to 30th
That's
is
that's a fair guesstimate.
is what I'd say. So you have 3 first-round picks, and that's super promising. And let alone we don't know what the plan is for those first-round picks. We could pick up another big-time prospect. Like, what if we end up? I don't know. What if we end up trading up to like top 5 and we draft one of those guys? What if we go after Chase Reed and solidify our prospect defensive pool? What if we go, or what if Bjork ends up coming to 11? What if maybe Malhorda drops to 6th or 7th, and they say, okay, this is a guy that we think should have been top 3, top 4, and we must trade up and get it. There's just so many question marks right now regarding that, and I feel like a lot of people postseason were overreacting. And I just want to remind everyone too, the back half of the season was probably the first time all year, besides the first maybe 4 or 5 games of the season, the St. Louis Blues were fully healthy. We saw Holloway gone for a good chunk, and he was still probably dealing with some shit after uh, his whatever oblique, I think it was last year, end of last year. Thomas got hurt for a little bit. He didn't play full season. Kyrou missed a few games. Buchnevich missed a few games. Snuggerud missed a good chunk of time too. Um, it's just, I mean, we lost Pareko for a small period there when he got traded to the Buffalo Sabres. Let's go Buffalo! Um, it's just like, an injuries happen in the National Hockey League, and that's where the next guy steps up. But I just feel like it was tough for the Blues to put together their full roster for more than, let's say, 5 games. Like their star players for more than 5 games in a row. Um, from start of the season all the way. Let's call it Olympic break because that's when they kind of like started blowing up.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts. I think it's 11th overall is a little underwhelming. And I feel like the Blues are like us Blues fans. I should actually be really happy with how this season turned out. Um, Obviously they're not going to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, it's good they missed playoffs. It's good that they were sellers. They dumped 2 leaders on the team, and the team still ended up playing insanely well. We got to see an opportunity for Dvorsky to get, some more minutes. Um, we got to see a full Thomas Snuggerud, whatever line. We got to see Mayu step up and take more minutes. And not to mention we got some pieces back too, like Jonathan Drouin comes back. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we play him a little bit more and we could use him as a trade asset, maybe, or maybe with a full season with the national or with the St. Louis Blues, he could do something. He could be that second line winger that we're waiting for with Jordan Kyrou. I think that would actually be a great combination because both of them are fast and really skilled. I think Drouin has a better shot, and I think that would be a good combo. But that's just for them to figure out. I don't get paid the big bucks for that. That's for Alex Steen now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
And I did want to point out something when you said Steen is that like people are the players are excited for what Steen has to offer. So if the players are excited, what should that say about the fans? Like if the players are excited for what a guy like Alexander Steen, who has like what, a year and a half, 2 years of quote unquote GM experience, like
this will
I think us fans
be
should be excited.
this will be year 2. Don't forget that we all knew he had his grubby little hands at what was that, the 2023 draft in the first round.
Yeah.
No North American player. He picks all overseas. He's a Swedish guy. Picks up Lindstein, picks up Stenberg, picks up Dvorsky. Dvorsky, I would say, based off expectations, maybe I had him a little bit high. Is kind of a little bit of a letdown, but I think he's gonna be honest, like full honesty. I think he's gonna be such a phenomenal third line center throughout his career, and I think that's awesome. But then you have an absolute tank and a workhorse in Stenberg, and then you have an absolute, like, I was already hyping him up with Lindstein, so very promising. Like, I'm happy. I'm excited for May 5th. I'm excited to see. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll hit the lottery. Maybe we'll jump up to, I know, a top 3 pick. Who knows? But um, I'm excited for this summer for the Blues. I think I think they're gonna make some room for some young guys, and they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna tweak too much, but I think they're gonna tweak enough to kind of keep them around the same area, but just probably a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, totally. And it's a similar situation as you had mentioned the 2023 draft. It's a very similar situation as to what they have going on this year. 3 years later, we saw in 2023 that the Blues attempted to trade for Scott Lawton for one of the, I think it was the 25th overall pick, which that would have been, I believe, Otto Stenberg, or that might have been Lindstein.
I don't
It was
remember.
one of
One
the
of the
two.
two.
But regardless, you saw them try to trade for a legitimate 2C at the time. Obviously, Scott Lawton isn't worth a first round pick at the moment, as the Leafs got the third round pick
Yeah.
for him. But you saw them do that. So who's to say they don't use that Colorado pick plus to try and go, get something, and especially with having Cairo available for a potential trade. And I hate to throw these names out, but like Parayko and Thomas, like those names, I wouldn't say that they're, it's too far gone to say that they're potentially traded. Um, from their comments today, didn't seem like they were too willing to throw out the idea of like any conversation. I mean, they haven't had any conversations with Scene yet, which makes a lot of sense. Granted, the season ended like a week ago, or not even. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Steen has so much to play around with this off season, and I think it was Jeremy Rutherford on the Last Minute Blues podcast that had mentioned, the Blues could be a team that trades up if a team doesn't view, like, if one of the teams within the top four doesn't view that Stenberg is, or top three, doesn't view that Stenberg is worth their pick because he only wants to play with his brother, the Blues could potentially make a trade for that.
Yeah.
Granted, if Stenberg falls to 4 or 5, a team isn't going to pass up on him. I mean, he's too good of a talent to, let it make a team pass on him just because he wants to play with his brother. But uh, nonetheless, Blues can do so many different things this offseason. I think the realistic option is just to still take your picks. I think you should explore every option possible, but I think the realistic expectation should be to take your picks. And like you said, who knows what can happen? I mean, we saw the Islanders go from 10-1 last year, so
Yeah.
who knows what will happen with the lottery? Blues have 2 chances at the lottery. Not
Yeah.
great chances, but
Yeah. Not
nonetheless, they
great,
do.
but still pretty cool to have, 2 picks in the top 15, and it's just awesome to see that they get better after trading those guys away. I love both of them, but I just don't think they brought anything to the table anymore, which is kind of tough to say. Um. Fuck. Excuse me. Ben got to take a little nap. Like,
No, I didn't. I didn't
you didn't
actually.
nap?
I said, oh no,
You
no,
used the lotion that's right next to you?
no. I don't even have it anymore. I
You were
said
just
that
looking
last
at it.
episode. I didn't have it.
You were just looking at it.
No.
Pull
Well,
it
I
up
was
right
trying to
now. Let
find
me
it.
see
It's
your
only
camera.
sitting
Move your
over
camera.
here. I literally don't have anything over here. Like, I have a PlayStation controller, but
Oh, so
besides
that's
that,
what you use to jerk off. A PlayStation controller. In between the analog stick.
no, no.
Um, yeah, this is honestly it's been a fun season. It's standard for St. Louis Blues. There's been a lot of moves. I mean, we had semi new faces and Matthew Joseph who got sent playing with the Kings now. Nick Bukestad who we got who was okay. He was hurt for a good chunk. Who got sent to the Devils. Um, yeah, all these young bucks come in. Shen is out. Druin is in. Falk is out. Justin Hall is in. Um, Colton Ellis is out in Buffalo, and it's it's fun. It's cool. It's actually pretty neat. Let me turn this off. I'm sorry, this has been up here the entire time, but um,
Yeah,
it's been really
it's been a
fun.
fun season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit frustrating at times, and you could clearly look back, and I think we talked about this last episode, and um, don't forget that the Blues went on an 8-game losing streak in overtime. I mean that I'm not saying that you win all of them, but if you win half of those, you're in the running. I feel like they played good
yeah,
against the Jets when the race was hot and they just barely lose. I think it was 3-2. You blow the regulation game and against San Jose. I felt like they played well against LA and lost in overtime. Um, and they blew the lead against Nashville. I mean, the team is like borderline right there. Not completely there because all these other teams are getting good. Like Utah is looking phenomenal. I bet you the Jets bounce back. I mean, they have Mark Scheifele who had 100 and something points. I think for the first time in his career. Good for him.
yeah,
I'm a big Mark Scheifele fan. He's sick. Um, and you have all these
yeah,
up and comers. I mean, whenever the Blackhawks decide they want to figure it out, Nashville it was in the race, not bad. San Jose is right there. So um, Blues got some work to do, and I think they could kind of go neck and neck and head to head with all these teams, but it's going to be a battle. And these guys, it's not really I personally don't think it's a roster issue. I think the guys inside the locker room just kind of need to figure out like the right way to play hockey, and I think Jim Montgomery could get him there. I think
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, Jim got him there second half here of the season, and they made a great push. So I think they just have to kind of put all the pieces together, which is possible. It's going to be tough. It is the National Hockey League, but I think there's a lot of promise, and they could potentially piece together a puzzle. So
Yeah, absolutely. And like you had mentioned earlier in the episode, the pocket knife.
yeah, I just wanted to stab you.
Oh, okay. Um, as you mentioned earlier in the episode, this is a team that you just didn't see completely healthy together, minus like the first 5 games and minus sub or post Olympic break. So that plays a big part into what the front office views as to what they do this off season. If the team is fully healthy, I think that they win a few more games than what they actually did.
Yeah,
Um, I don't I don't think this team is far off of being a playoff team again, as you mentioned. And this is just kind of piggybacking off of what you said. But this team is good, and with a down year from Cairo and a down year from a lot of guys, it is really kind of hard to view what this team could be. Uh, because you try to when you go into the offseason, you try to piece together what went wrong in the 20 or in the previous season, and like it just felt like everything kind of went wrong. So it's kind of like, do you just run it back before you make another decision on whether to trade Kyrie? Because here's the thing: is whether people want to believe it or not, I think Jordan Kyrou is a solid defender. I think maybe sometimes he doesn't make, not that he doesn't make, but sometimes effort isn't like built into him sometimes, and that's okay. When you're a 35 goal scorer, obviously this year didn't happen, but I don't know. They just have too many things to do this offseason, or not things, but just too many options to go about as far as trading this guy, um, drafting here, or doing this, doing that. So for those who are saying that that we're cooked this offseason, I wouldn't in the slightest say that. I think we're in a solid spot. I mean, would getting a higher draft pick be good? Yeah. I think it's disappointing. I could see how it's disappointing to some fans because you're, bottom 2 team in the league for so much time, and then all of a sudden you just come back and you're like, "Oh my gosh, we actually have a chance at the playoffs," and you don't do it. So
yeah.
that's okay though.
Yeah, I guess it's okay. I guess. They'll figure it out. I don't know what the deal is Kyrie. I said last episode, Paulie's promise that he will get traded. I still do think he'll get traded. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks around for a bit. I mean, this is the first season in how long he hasn't been a 35 goal scorer in the National Hockey League. Um, and I said again last, if you want to make it work with Kyrie, you kind of have to figure out a line with him. Hopefully Thomas, Snuggerud, and Holloway will stick together. I don't know how long that's gonna last, just because we saw a dominant line with Thomas, Kyrie, and Buchnevich a few years ago, really dominant line, and that kind of fell apart. So I don't. It's just kind of figuring out the mold for Cairo. I think you kind of need some speed and some honestly some a little bit of goal scoring. You need a grind. Like it's just they'll figure it out. They're gonna have to, or they send them away. One or the other. It don't matter to me.
And I think that starts down the middle too, right? I mean, you don't really have a 2C on this team.
No,
Like you kind of flip between Buchnevich, Suter, and Dvorsky is your 2C and 3C. So as I mentioned earlier, and Stenberg too. Granted, Stenberg sometimes plays the wing. Um, but as I mentioned, the Blues tried to go after uh, Scott Lawton back in 2023. So who's to say they don't do the same here? I don't really know who's out there as far as available centers because I think the center position is such a hot commodity right now. Um,
it's tough to come by.
it is very tough to come by, and that's why teams are so in on Robert Thomas. That's why you're seeing teams, knocking at the door on a guy like Robert Thomas because you just don't see that kind of production from that position uh, become available, especially on a good deal too. So um, there's a possibility that they do that, but it definitely starts down the middle as far as finding a guy for Kyber because I mean the wing that's a that's a spot you could easily fill, in my opinion. I mean, you have quite a few guys that you could go into next season if you find that 2C and just plug them in and see how they go. I mean, like obviously Buchnevich, Neighbors. If he makes the team, Carbonneau, uh, Dvorsky, Stenberg. I mean, there's Druin. There's so many different guys that you can kind of plug in there that may not be like unreal, but would definitely benefit from being on that line.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see coming up next season. I don't know what direction they're trying to go in. I mean, I kind of know the direction they're trying to go in, but it's just with some of these players, it's you kind of have to make a choice sooner rather than later. You can't just like kind of hope on it. So we have a new GM coming who probably has a vision of what he personally wants to do. I mean, DA will still kind of look over, but I can't read Alex Steen's mind. He can only read mine.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I kind of wanted to throw a curveball here.
All right, let's do it. Curveball time, I guess.
See my eyebrows? You see how they're like raising for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Can we talk about the 5 game win streak going on right now? And they're only
For
half a game back from the NL Central.
Yeah, Cardinals have been doing pretty good. Pitching's
Yeah,
been solid, but what's really been killing it is the offense.
it's fun. It's good. It's really. I haven't watched a game yet this season, but like I'll pay attention to any notification that comes my way. Because obviously I have the app, so that's been cool. I keep seeing and they just keep finding ways to win. I mean, I saw that. I mean, Gorman had a clutch the other day. Went to my rival high school. Um, who was Mason Wynn had a good day today.
Went
Um,
3 for 5 today. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know who else had a good day, but I just keep seeing these notifications and the blue. I mean, not the Blues. The Cardinals just are finding ways to win. I don't know how long
yeah.
they're gonna keep this up for. Ben will probably be able to tell me, but right now it's fun. They're a young team. They're a really young team, and it's cool to see from the outside. Ben, from the inside, what are you seeing?
I mean, what I see is very similar to what you see on the other side of the city with the Blues. It's kind of like this young nucleus of a team just coming together and trying to one up each other. And that's exactly happening with both sides, with the Cardinals and with the Blues. With the Cardinals, you have on the pitching side, you have guys like Michael McGreevy, Matthew Liberator, uh, as well as Dustin May, who also fits into the timeline, Kyle Leahy and Palante, and other guys coming up through the minor leagues too. Um, that are just trying to one up each other, and especially with the offense as well. Burleson, Gorman, as you mentioned, Walker, Weatherholt, Herrera, all these guys are doing well. Herrera has been hitting the ball so hard lately. It's crazy. Um, Not much on the stat sheet to show for it at the moment, but the fact that he's barreling up the ball the way he is gives us hope for a better outcome eventually. It's just a matter of time before he breaks through. But I really like what the Cardinals have been doing. It's just the bullpen has been super shaky, and other than that, I said last podcast, I believe I said this. I just don't have any expectations for this Cardinals team,
You
and it's
did.
not to say that I don't expect them to be good. I'm just saying, or I expect them to be bad. I expect them to be good. I just don't have any expectations. I don't know what this team is supposed to be as far as competitiveness level. Um, but what I'm seeing right now, obviously, I like. I'm not gonna, you know, sit here and say, oh, they're not doing good. Oh, these guys are out there every day putting up a fight against good teams too. Cleveland Guardians, um, played Tampa in the beginning. Tampa's a solid team right now. They currently are in a wild card spot. Played Detroit. I believe we won a game out of that series. Um,
In Detroit.
in Detroit as well. Yeah, and who else did we play? I mean, we played the Mets, but the Mets are also not in the best position right now. They're 7-15. So, but
Really?
other than that, I really, yeah, they're in a bit of a weird situation. I would say, but yeah, I really do like what the Cardinals are doing, and how these players are kind of responding to what happened in the offseason as far as trading away guys like Brendan Donovan, Contreras, Arenado, Sonny Gray.
That I forgot about Sonny Gray. Completely
Yeah,
forgot about that guy. Where's he now?
he's over in Boston. Let's see how
Was
he's
he
doing real
all
quick.
what? Where did he come from?
So he was on the A's, went to the Yankees, then went to the Twins, and then went to St. Louis, and
Twins.
then now went to Boston.
Twins. That's what it is. Twins. Did he
Or
start
no,
when
he
we
also
played the
played
Red
in
Sox?
Cincinnati. That's my bad. Hmm?
Did he start when we played the Red Sox? We just played the Red Sox, didn't we?
Yes, but he didn't start. I don't believe.
Lame. Gay
He's
and
not having a good
lame.
season either. And
Really?
I've kind of said, yeah, I posted on Twitter. Um, at some point in the offseason, I said
This keyboard warrior.
with all the numbers that Sonny provided last year, pitching in Boston may not be the best thing for him, especially giving up the long ball, which technically homers per nine is a worse number. It was a 1.25 last year. This year it's a 1.33, which essentially um, is worse homers per nine. As I told you before, we started the episode with the K per nine, strikeouts per nine, like per 9 innings. Um, Home runs per 9 innings is 1.33, which isn't all that great.
Sonny, why you suck?
I don't know. He's getting older. He's 36 years old, so
Damn, he's old.
not
Poor guy.
not easy.
How's
Yeah,
Nolan doing here in Arizona?
he's been catching fire here recently. Not really sure if he's had a I don't think he's had a hot start to the season, but recently he's been starting to hit the ball. He's had a couple homers in his last couple games, but
The
yeah,
Diamondbacks are
I'm
doing
not
as a
gonna lie.
whole.
He looks a little lost right now. And I hate that for him because I love Nolan Arenado. He Before he even came to St. Louis, he was one of my favorite players. Um, so
That's a tough division to be in, man. The NL West. They're 13-9. Honestly, solid record. It's just you have the Padres at 15-7, and you have the Dodgers at 15-6.
and the Diamondbacks are a somewhat competitive team. Like
7-3 in their last
last year
10.
wasn't really a what's that?
7-3 in their last 10 games.
Yeah, and even besides that, the last few years they've been somewhat competitive. Made it to the World Series, didn't win, unfortunately, but
Yeah, I
um,
remember that.
but yeah,
I was there.
at the World Series.
No, all my buddies went though. It wasn't. I
Oh,
don't think it was too
that's cool.
expensive for nosebleeds. I think it was like couple $100 or something.
Mm,
It
that's not
wasn't
bad.
bad for an elimination World Series win. But my buddy is a big Diamondbacks fan, and they all went together, and
Mm,
it's just like defeating. Because that was a magical run from them. Like that was sick. Like Diamondbacks just like
absolutely.
they got hot, and then they just like they play the Rangers, and it just died. Gas came out of
Yeah,
the
they barely
tank.
scraped by into the wild card. They were 84 and 78, and they barely made it into the wild card spot. So
Yeah, and then
props to them.
they go on a run. Like they have that magic. They have a great run against the Dodgers, and then they go against the Phillies. I'm pretty sure, and that was fun. I paid attention a little bit there. Paid attention a little bit,
Mm,
but
yeah,
um, yeah, I was just curious. Ben, there was one more question I wanted to ask you. Yeah. What is this about you guys getting a car?
yeah. So
You see this logo?
looking into getting a new car. No, I not a Mercedes,
I
unfortunately.
don't only have Mercedes, Ben. Hold on, I'm changing my thermostat. What are you guys looking for? Let me do my job really quick.
Probably like an. I mean, it's for me, so probably like an SUV of some sort.
An SUV of some sort, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like, what's you guys' price range?
I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Probably roughly around like 2025. I mean, I think that's fairly reasonable.
For an SUV?
Yeah, 2025, maybe 30, depending on what kind of SUV it is.
Alright, guys. Well, we're gonna try and do my job. Let's do my job really quick, everyone. Let's do my job.
Do
So the
this little
screen right.
segment of his job.
Alright, exposing my work. I work at Mercedes-Benz Arrowhead. If anyone needs a car, hit me up 403-995-847. So you need an SUV, huh? Let's for 20 to 25. So I assume you guys are financing?
No, maybe.
I wish I had something kind of more than. Is this only showing Mercedes? It is. That's a problem. Oh wow, even still. Here's what I would do. I mean, if there's anything I had on the website here, anything that interests you, feel free to look, Ben, too. Always feel free to look at our
Okay.
website, because I would scratch, stab, and kill to make sure I could at least cover shipping for you guys, to where it's just like I don't have to add it to the deal and you guys aren't financing or paying extra cash for shipping.
Yeah, send me the link to it on in our Discord.
Yeah, I will. I will. Yeah, I'm just curious because there's some. A Subaru Forester. I mean, I don't think you guys have, unless you do, have $42,000. But if you want a car that'll last eternity for
Yeah,
an
it's pretty much.
SUV, like if you are looking
Yeah,
for a car that lasts forever, like Subaru is the way to go. Unless you own a Mercedes, then feel free. I could get you 299 on a lease for 7,500 miles a year, 5 grand down
not bad.
for
Not
24
bad.
months. It's actually phenomenal for a Mercedes. If I did a lease option for you right now on a GLB, it'd probably be around like $700, $800 with just up drive off fees down, and they just got this lease special going right now for a 25
Hmm.
GLB, which is nice. But yeah, anyone watching,
Hmm.
here we go. Here's our website. Who wants a fucking car, huh? Eh? Nay, who wants a car? Look at this. Look at this.
For anyone
Bam.
watching, I'm curious
Bam.
if they expected to know if anything or learned that we were going to be shopping cars during this episode.
Oh, we're shopping cars. And feel free to always ask me anything. I got you guys. Like if you guys end up going
Absolutely.
to a dealership, let me know. Like if there's a trade in you guys got, like I'll make sure you're prepped. 'Cause a lot of people, and this is gonna be. Let me go back here. Let me show us off again. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that really don't understand how dealerships work. Um, Here's the lesson. One of the big things I get, at least at our dealerships, is, oh, I Kelly Blue Book my car. And you're not giving me what Kelly Blue Book says. I was like, well, listen, sir. I'll be as straight up as possible with you. Is Kelly Blue Book writing you a check for this car? Because I promise you, if they did, they would not offer you that. All right. All these dealerships, they use all these different tools. They look at other retail prices based off the mileage. You really use, like, this isn't them like saying, okay, let's scam the shit out of these people. It's them looking at the price, seeing how much they would sell it for, seeing how much the instant cash offers from like wholesale sites are and all this other shit. And also kind of taking in account what work needs to be done on the car. That's why we have one of us like inspect it. So at Mercedes-Benz, I would say we're lower on trades than it would be a Honda, but we're paying our technicians $290 an hour. Honda's probably paying their technicians like 120 maybe. So it's like, I mean, it's a Mercedes-Benz store. It's luxury, it's premium, it's different. So I'd say we're a little bit less, but it's only gonna be by like, I don't know, a grand or maybe 500 bucks. And I could promise you right now, at least our desk managers, it's like they're not gonna lose a deal over 500 bucks or sometimes even a grand. So um, unless we're fully in. But I mean, that's for them to determine. I'm just a pretty face that shows the cars. And I say, hello,
That's
how are
that's the
you?
Nico rant of
That's the
cars.
Nico rant. A lot of Nico rants today. A lot of Nico rants. So hopefully a good lesson for you, Ben. If you guys stumble upon a dealership, let me know. And
Will do.
if you ever go to Tampa, the Mercedes-Benz dealer in Tampa Bay, I hear, is uber nice. One of the best dealerships in America.
Really?
Yeah, for Mercedes-Benz. Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of the top dealers in the United States. So um,
Okay.
they have cool cars. They make big money. I'm gonna move there. Ben, can I live with you?
Yeah, sure.
I actually want a new car right now. I kind of do. But there's this new, God, we're a hockey podcast. I'm talking about cars. There's this new CLA. It's a bummy car. A CLA 250. Full honesty, a shitty entry level car. It's people who really want to have the Mercedes-Benz experience, but they really can't afford it. They came out with the new CLA 250. It's fully electric, but it's lit as fuck. It's sick. It's so sick. It's so sick. And that's actually why, because I want to record myself driving it. For those, I don't think I showed these off yet. I bought these today. I bought these Meta glasses. Ooh. So now I got the Meta glasses on, and they could record. So if I hold this button down, you're gonna see the little light. I'm recording. So now I'm recording Ben. Ben, wave.
Hi.
Okay, now pull down your pants.
No, no thanks.
But it records up to 3 minutes. So, I mean, for those who see my TikToks and Facebook, I'm pretty active, especially lately. Just trying to make some money. Just trying to make a buck. I'm a young guy just trying to make a buck. I'm in this house all by myself. I pay $2,000 a month in mortgage. $2,000 a month. And it's just me. It's like,
Sell all your
oh,
Pokemon cards.
absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. No way. No way. That's a lot of money, though. It's a lot of money. I was actually talking to some guy today. I might go get it insured.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, it's a lot of it. Like, that's a lot.
We
If
talk about that off camera.
yeah, it's a lot. But
That's crazy.
yeah, did you watch what
But
games were your favorite games? I'm not done yet. I can still talk for a little bit. I mean, we're only about 43 minutes in. But well, favorite game
so
of playoffs so
from
far?
today,
Just in general. Just in general.
I think think it goes without saying it has to be the Buffalo game. I think me and you both
Buffalo.
are right there.
Let's
Um,
go
just an
Buffalo.
electric game. And here's something I do want to say about that Buffalo team is while I do think that the Blues are not going to be in the situation to where Buffalo is as far as having to sit there and draft top 5 almost every season and then eventually become good. I think the Buffalo Sabres are what the St. Louis Blues should strive to be, physical and fast. That's what Buffalo's game is, and I think you saw a lot of it. Like Zach
Yeah.
Benson, I
Zach
absolutely love
Benson's
Zach
a
Benson. He's such
dog.
a dirty little rat,
He looks
but
like
he's
the
so good
fucking
at
kid
it.
from Toy Story. His shaved head, bro. Like, I saw him with his helmet off today because he got in that scrum. I was like, when the fuck did this kid shave his head bald?
I didn't know he shaved his head. I thought he always had flow.
No, he has a buzz cut. If you saw it, he's got a buzz cut
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah, He did
I
have
didn't
flow.
know that.
Yeah, he did have flow. He had like a mullet, and now he's got a buzz cut. But I agree. That Sabres team is fun. They're fast. They're physical. I mean, it helps when they have like when you're honestly like their decor is unreal. Like Darlene is big, Power is big, Samuelson is big, Stanley is big, Luke Shen is there.
6'2", I think.
But then you have like on the front end, you have like Tage Thompson and Alex Tuck that lead the way and kind of set an example. And you also have Lindy Ruff, longtime NHL coach, who kind of like knows the game and just gets these guys to commit. And look where they're at now, and it's awesome. Buffalo has been a treat. I have a bunch of bets going on. I'll go over the bets. All right, Nico's promise, Polly's promise,
Let's
Polly's
hear it.
promise. The Buffalo Sabres will go to the Stanley Cup final this year.
Absolutely. I love that. I absolutely love that.
So here's what I got so far. I did like a little 5 leg parlay. It's $5 to win 650 bucks. I still think it's really in the realm of possibility. I did this before the games. Flyers series winner. Senators series winner. Wild series winner. I think the Wild are going far this year. I think they're oh my god.
They're so electric.
Oilers series winner. Canadians series winner. Buffalo series winner.
Buffalo. Buffalo.
And Utah series winner. I picked 1, 2, 3 underdogs in this bet. I guess Philly could be listed as an underdog a little bit too, since it was before the season, but honestly wasn't by much. $5 to win $653. I did do a couple futures bets. My vote for the 2025-2026 Conn Smythe winner is going to be Kirill Kaprizov.
So you think it's Buffalo Wild?
Yeah, I think in my bracket I did Buffalo Wild, Minnesota, or Buffalo, Utah.
That's a fun bracket.
It
That's a very
is.
fun bracket.
I do have Buffalo Sabres to win the Stanley Cup. $5 to win 105. The Minnesota Wild, $5 to 95 bucks to win the Stanley Cup. Dallas Stars I did too because if they beat Colorado, I think they're going in round 2. And always do Edmonton. Always bet Edmonton because they always find a way. They'll be down and then they'll just come up out of nowhere. They will, dude. It's kind of McDavid.
It's just gonna be so hard though, because they don't have Draisaitl.
Is he not going to be back tomorrow?
No, he's out for the season.
No, he's out for the regular season.
No, he was out. I thought he was out for the entire season.
I think Leon Draisaitl will be back. Is Leon Draisaitl playing in playoffs?
Okay, no, never mind. I
Is
stand corrected.
expected
I
to
was thinking.
play in the Oilers first round series. While his pitch is not officially confirmed, he's been practicing fully and expected to be back early in the series. Okay, another Polly's promise. Polly's promise.
Times 2.
I'm not kidding. For those eligible to gamble, if Leon Draisaitl plays tomorrow, I want you to put your mortgage, your house, your car, your next 6 months of paycheck on Leon Draisaitl anytime goal scorer. I'm telling you, every year, game 1,
Okay, man.
he makes me money. He makes me money every year, and I'm sharing it to y'all. I lay down. I put $100 on it nearly every year if Leon's playing game 1 because the guy just scores in game 1. I might even do like a little $10 thing. I might put $100 on Leon anytime goal scorer. I might do an extra $10 for Leon Draisaitl hat trick. He is a game 1 player. And the Anaheim Ducks, I don't think will know exactly where they are. So, and my cat's meowing.
No.
Ducks.
Yeah, I was thinking of when I mentioned being out for the entire regular season. I was thinking of Austin Matthews.
Oh yeah, Poppy's dead.
Yeah, he's gone.
Leafs suck.
But so you said your Polly's promise times 2. I'm gonna do the Gallon guarantee segment real quick. I know we want to space him out a little bit. We want to space him out a little bit more like we did last episode, but we kind of just got rambling this episode. But my
Yeah.
guarantee, after listening to what Doug Armstrong had to say about Dylan Holloway and his ability to not stay healthy, I think the Blues give him a 2-year deal this offseason.
My only concern is an offer sheet to him.
That the Blues wouldn't let that happen. That's the only thing is they wouldn't let that happen unless it's an absolute overpay. Also, high dokes.
Yeah, what a jokes. I think a team out there would. Like you're
I
telling me
mean,
a
I don't
team
see
with
why
cap
you wouldn't.
space, like a a a, a 23-year-old winger who is a baller,
I'm
like
not
he's
saying that
good.
won't or that wouldn't happen. I don't think it gets to that point, but I also don't think that they commit to him long term quite yet, as much as we would hope for them to. Because I
That
mean,
makes
to be
sense.
fair to Doug Armstrong's point, like before he compared Broberg and Holloway as far as them being the offer sheet boys. I think that's very fair. Broberg kind of stayed on the same level he did the whole entire season, an elite top pair defenseman. For Holloway, started the season off struggling as well as then got injured and then ended the season off hot. So you really don't know what you have with Dylan Holloway quite yet. So and I agree with Doug Armstrong that it might take a little bit before you see Holloway, or not take a little bit, but it may take next season to fully see what you get with Dylan Holloway. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I respect that. I mean, I'd be totally cool with saving a little bit of bucks and doing a 2-year deal for maybe $4 or $5 million.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
So
but then after that, like I really do think he's gonna be healthy, and when he is healthy, he's gonna produce. Like, get prepared to fucking yep, get a checkbook
it
and,
could easily be a point per game player, like
easily.
80 point guy. I mean, I think so.
And
He
I
has
think it
such an elite wrister, and
you're gonna go. Keep going. Keep going,
I know
Ben.
I think I said it to you. I think he embodies what Braden Shen like when we say talk about Braden Shen's like captaincy and like what he brings to the table. Um, I think people think of Jake Neighbors, but I think Dylan Holloway brings that even more. I think he
Oh,
brings
we
us
did talk about this.
honestly an underrated physicality part of the game. Like he low key just throws his body out there and then
Yeah.
has just such an elite wrister.
Yeah.
Like it honestly is one of the best shots I've seen. I mean, it is very underappreciated.
It is sick. I think you funny you say Braden, like he embodies Braden Chen. I think this is gonna be a little far fetched. I think Dylan Holloway looks like Connor McDavid. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. There's times where I'm like, okay, he's flying and he's sick. I mean, he's not as good as him, but he's still good. He's still good. Like I think when I watch him, I'm like, oh, this guy for sure played and learned a lot from Connor McDavid. Like
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely,
that's very fair.
absolutely. He's sick. I like him a lot. I like Dylan Holloway a lot. What an offer sheet. Let's talk. Doug Armstrong is done.
Yeah, that is a segment that we should have
Uh,
honestly kind of penciled in. I
no, but like for
forgot about that.
like if you think about it, what a great general manager. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes boneheaded moves, right? But like I mean, for instance, Alex Petrangelo. During that time, I think he was kind of. I think the retool option was still there. Just because it's like, okay, I know I have Robert Thomas or Jordan Kyrou. He was like my future's coming in. Trades for Buchnevich, right? So they're kind of like in this awkward spot of like Buchnevich at the time was still pretty young, and it's like, okay, these three will like go grow together and like be the future. That didn't necessarily pan out, but I mean, like, look at all these like the St. Louis Blues have been under Doug Armstrong a great team, a great organization, great organization. Look at how many playoff series or playoffs we've been to. I know it took us a little bit to get out of the first round, but I mean, we made it past the first round, made it to the Western Conference Final, lost to San Jose, won the Stanley Cup, um, put a good run to the President's Trophy winner last year, should have won. But it's just like he's put together, and he's made some Holloway and Broberg phenomenal. Drafting has been great. Uh, found Tage Thompson, found Robert Thomas, drafted Jordan Kyrou. Pretty much traded a washed and not washed, an old Brian Elliott for Jordan Kyrou. that second round pick turned
Okay,
into
I
Gordon
wouldn't
Hayward.
say Elliott was washed.
He
Elliott was
wasn't
low key,
he wasn't washed, but like it was that time. It was that time.
especially with Allen knocking on the door. I think this
Yes,
is a very similar situation, like what's happening right now with Bennington and Hofer.
unfortunately, but yeah,
It
and
happens every time, bro.
it's like, and you make a masterclass trade for O'Reilly at the time. Good for Buffalo for getting
Yeah,
Tage Thompson, but you drop Vladimir Sobotka, who likes doing drugs, and you drop Patrick Berglund, who beats his wife. I don't know if he
yeah.
actually does. I'm just saying that, but like you. Thank you, Doug. Not everyone's gonna say
Thank,
that.
yeah.
Say
No,
it, Ben.
seriously.
I want you to say it. Say it.
No, I did say thank you. Thank
I
you, Doug Armstrong. I
look in the
Go
camera
ahead.
and say it.
Thank you, Doug Armstrong.
Yeah, but say it like you mean it.
Thank you, Doug Armstrong.
Okay. No, I'm gonna show
That's
you.
not say it.
I'm gonna show you how it's done. Thank you, Doug Armstrong.
He probably hates our guts.
How was that? That was good, huh? No, because he likes going through Reddit and he likes going through different podcasts and he'll watch this and he'll be like, these guys are fucking bozos. Idiots. That's why you're not a
That's
GM,
probably
bitch.
true.
Sorry, Doug. Just two guys with some ideas, but I think Ben and I, Dougie, are like we have big brains right now. It's not like we're being little pea brains, or I guess I'm the one with the pea brain that's going like, fucking fuck these guys, trade them all. These guys fucking suck. I feel like it's a,
Yeah.
a pretty big brain, realistic epi here, surprisingly. Doug, God, buy a car off me. I know you need a tax write-off or something. Hit me up. G63, 30 grand over sticker.
So here is some stats from Doug Armstrong
Here we go.
in his from his tenure as the Blues GM. 49 total trades, 36 players acquired, 25 picks acquired, 22 picks traded away, 37 players traded away. I think that's not bad at all. Honestly, a good deal of both. Um, trying to see anything of like a record kind of. Only one top 10 pick made. That's really good, at least in my opinion, in his tenure. Um, trying to see where it shows like him as a GM and like how many wins the team has. Does not want to show it, and this is on Puckpedia, so it does not want to show. But nonetheless, um,
Winning record.
he's been unreal. This was back in 2019, and I think this was a great stat. Is that the Blues had only missed the playoffs 9 times in their history. This was back in 2019. So since then, they've missed the playoffs, what, 12 times
Yeah.
in their near 60 years of being a team? I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good
Yeah.
if you ask
It
me.
is pretty good. I mean, to think that Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, 15-year drought. And
Yeah,
Detroit's
absolutely.
up there now. Detroit hasn't been to the playoffs since like 2016. They've been about almost a
Yeah,
decade, maybe a little less, but wow. To think that Detroit was the team that was on the 25 consecutive, it was like 25 consecutive years, I'm pretty sure,
yeah,
of making the
yeah. It was
playoffs.
pretty bad.
And now they're the Iser plan is just but
Yeah, I wonder what happens with them as they approach the off season, and I'm sure they'll stick to it for right now. But I don't know. Speaking of Armstrong, what are your opinions about him potentially going to like Toronto or anywhere else as a GM?
whatever he wants to do. He served his time here and we a good thing is he's kind of set us up for the future. It's not like he just said fuck you
Absolutely.
guys. He went out. He knew he was pretty much done. He went out. He got Jim Montgomery as a coach. He made the hard decision. He got the next GM and has been training him the last few years. And Alex Steen. He and Steener together have helped build a top 10 prospect pool in the league. Um, and he's made so many good moves, like offer sheets acquiring these young players that are ballers. It's just like you can do whatever you want, Doug. Feel free. If you feel like it's
Absolutely.
if it's your time in St. Louis and that's how you feel and you kind of want to go explore elsewhere and take a team from uh, you know a rough history like Toronto where they get dogged on like the Blues did forever. I mean Toronto's been like that forever too, but St.
It's
Louis
also
is
his
like
home.
that. Yeah. It's like, hey man, you set us up, man. You're good.
Absolutely. I do want to say though, as you mentioned the prospect pool, imagine if the Blues do take all 3 first round picks and actually pick players. Imagine how much better that gets. Like you're probably talking top 5, top 3,
I hope so.
just because of how deep this draft class is.
I'm deep in
Like
you.
you could even what? What did you say?
Nothing.
I cut out.
No.
Hmm?
No.
No? Okay. I think I know what you said, but I'm not gonna um but anyways, yeah, so like with the 11th overall pick and say let's just say for example you don't jump up in the draft. Like and I know we're literally going all over the place in this episode because there is some to talk about, but at the same point like there's not just because we're only a few days away from us being, the season being over, so um but anyways, if you with the 11th overall pick, you could have someone join the NHL team this year. So it's very possible. Could it happen? Maybe. Do I see it happening? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah,
But is
before we
there?
end this, yeah, I think that's it because I'm ready. But Ben is coming to Arizona soon, and we're gonna do a live podcast.
Yay! No, not actually.
Ben's fake as fucking doesn't want to sleep with me. I have a king size bed and I'm all by my lonesome. So Ben, please come.
Okay. You gonna fly me out there?
I don't have no money. Maybe if your mom bought a car off me for you.
No,
You never know. You never know.
never know.
I can hook you up.
No, but I do want to say though that I don't know what you're doing on this day, but I do want to try and potentially get a draft lottery like live stream, like we'll post something about
Oh,
it, do like a live draft lottery reaction.
what
I think it's the 5th of May.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so I have Tuesday, Wednesday off. My
I think
short
that's
week
a
coming up.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it is. I'll have Tuesday, Wednesday off. I gotta do like the thing 'cause it like flip flops. Then I'll work my short
Hmm.
week. One, two. I'll have Sunday, Monday off, and I'll work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll have Tuesday, Wednesday. I could do that. I'm pretty sure it lines up.
Okay.
It lines up. So I
Okay.
should be good. I should be good. I should be good. I should be good. I should be good.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm down. I'm down. That's actually sick as
And it's
fuck.
coming here too soon in like what, 2 weeks?
The 5th of
Pretty
May.
much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now.
Cool, cool. Well, anything else you have before we end it?
No, I'm gonna hover my little mouse over stop recording right now.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you guys for watching. This is the STLEmpire podcast. And oh, one last thing.
Oh
Thank you guys so
Jesus.
much for the recent support on the post.
Oh,
Been
that's
getting so many
right.
likes and views. We all appreciate that. But for those who are new and viewing, make sure to hit the follow button. It'd be much appreciated. We're gonna come out with some banger content for not only the Blues off season, but with the Cardinals. We're doing the game day post, and I know some people like it. Some people also just may not see it because they don't follow the Cardinals as much, which is totally fine. But Blues
Yeah.
content still will be out there and better than ever. We're gonna have player grades coming out soon, so
Yes.
just be sure to check that out whenever that is posted. Not sure when we'll do that, but it'll be here sooner rather than later. But
I got Tuesday and Wednesday
any
off coming up, so.
any last things?
No, I mean I texted Ben because I love Ben. Thank you everyone, including Ben, for the season. I mean I got a big boy job and you know pumping out about 50 to 60 hours a week. So it's been tough. Ben stepped up to the plate this season, has been great. Ben and I have done some pretty awesome things. He's been a good help. I mean, we switched from Blue blog to STLEmpire, started covering both games or both leagues, both baseball and hockey, which are the two biggest sports in St. Louis. We've been gaining traction. We've been talking with other creators and doing other things and coming up with new designs. I think we've done maybe like 3 or 4 different like game day and post game like designs, which have been
Yeah,
cool.
shout
And
out to Michael for that.
yes,
Michael, shout out him.
that guy's been awesome. And then I mean, just looking at our posts, says professional dashboard, 100,000 views the last 30 days. I mean, our last post of like the Holloway Thomas Nugger line has almost 10,000 views, close to 600 likes, which is crazy. And then the 11th
The
overall,
April
the April Fool's one, the April Fool's one was crazy. Let me see if I can find it. My buddy
almost
actually,
40K views.
yeah, it's 36 and a half views. It's got nearly 400 likes. My buddy saw that and believed it and texted my other buddy saying, "Did you see this?" And then I was golfing with him, and I said, "Did you see this?" He's like, "Yeah, bro, I saw that." I was like, "I saw the exact photo." Like, "That's me, you fucking idiot."
That's
So
so funny.
yeah, it's been a fun season. I'll just need to get on Ben's ass a little bit more, so he can send me some graphics so I can hop in and do
Yeah.
some stuff. So I try and contribute the most I can.
No.
But
I
yeah,
mean, working 50, 60-hour weeks, he does an awesome job. And I mean, with that being said, I'm resigning. This is the last time you'll see me on the
my
podcast.
bad.
No.
See ya. Being replaced by
Bye.
Cole.
Smell ya. No, but yeah, like Nico said, so much fun this season. First season helping with the Blues and stuff. And big thank you to Nico for giving me the opportunity to help. The first full season with the podcast and everything. Didn't do too many episodes, only did like 15 to 20.
That's a
But
lot.
life happens, and so
That's a
but
lot. To think, Ben, this started, I forget how exactly it started, but you and I were talking in the DMs, and I was just telling you, like, how I'm getting so busy or something. And Ben offered his assistant, and I said, you know what? What's your phone number, Ben?
yeah.
And then it started from there. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, let it be known Nico hit on me first.
Oh, yeah, sure, sure. All right, piece of shit. Uh, yeah, so Ben and I's friend anniversary is coming up on probably about a year. It was during the off season last season. I could actually let me look
Yeah,
that up. I'm actually gonna
yeah,
scroll through STL Empire's DMs and find Ben Gallon.
yeah. Like I said, it's been an absolute blast. Again, can't do this without you guys. We're gonna be trying to do some more reels and stuff, taking clips of the podcast and putting it into a reel so you guys can see it on the go if you don't have time to listen to the full hour of the podcast. Um, but yeah, do you have the DMs pulled up?
You're the one who brought up the podcast thing. I do. It was July. Uh, It was, yeah, July 1st. You said, "Wow, Bolduc for Mayu, flip for Anderson." I said I didn't think it'll be a flip, but I think it's a solid trade though. We'll have to see if Falk gets moved here. Would have to imagine Mayu gets minutes over Tucker too. I would too. He said I think 72 is expandable with the no movement clause or no trade clause now. Um, and I was saying, I said, man, I wish I wasn't so busy today. I can't keep up right now. I said, I don't know if you ever thought of this, but would you want a partner? And I said, is this your foot coming in my house right now? That's what I said.
I got so scared in that moment because I
Yeah.
was like, I
and
hope he
then
doesn't take it the wrong way.
and you were like, was just trying to offer help because you're busy. Dot dot. I remember
Yeah,
I drove to Gilbert that day to deliver a car. There's something wrong with the car and like all this shit, and it pissed me off that like I got busy and like I had to do this shit for a customer and like I knew July 1st is like a big day and it's like damn, like Gilbert's about an hour away from the dealership, so it's like I'm 2 hours of driving. Um, and I had to wait for the guy and everything, but it worked out. Yeah, yeah. Look at that, July
yeah,
1st. So Ben and Nico's anniversary is July 1st. So coming up in the next few months.
Where are you gonna get me?
A signed Toronto Maple Leafs Curtis Joseph puck.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no. Like I said, while you were looking up the messages, this has been so much fun this season, and we'll be definitely grinding out this off season. Is my guess is there will be a plethora of moves, and it won't start with just the players itself. So you already saw with Claude Julien and Mike Weber. So
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. But you know, guys, much love. We appreciate everyone. This has been a nice long podcast. So it's a late one for us. 12:44 for me.
going
3
on 4 a.m. for me.
3:44 for Ben Gallen. That's all from us. Appreciate everybody. Ben, kiss him
Love you
good night.
guys.
Kiss him good night.
I'll blow a kiss. I'll blow a kiss
Oh
after
my
you guys.
god!
Hey, the blues is alright. Hey, the blues is alright.